4 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning and welcome into today's edition of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Ross Leonhardt. It is Friday, the 11th of October. We have a beautiful sunny day out there right now. We have a great show ahead. We have Gabe Linderman, one of the GoPro Mountain Games athletes, in studio to talk climbing and all things mountain games. We're also talking to our favorite people at the libraries today. So it's going to be a great Friday rolling into the weekend here. Checked out some Aurora Borealis skies last night. Going to be a great show today. So tune in, grab that cup of coffee. We're going to hop over to the weather now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this fabulous Friday morning. We are looking at 45 degrees to start the day at 8 a.m. and a high of 69 degrees today. Mostly sunny skies. Expected to be a great Friday and a beautiful weekend. Some small winds coming in today. Into the hourly, things heat up to 63 degrees around noon with mostly cloudy skies rolling in. And at 4 p.m., temperatures are at 67 before coming down to 56 degrees and clear skies tonight at 8 p.m. Into the high 70 corridor, Eagle a high of 75 today, Vail a high of 69, Avon 72, and Denver a high of 74. So temperatures coming down a little bit in the Rocky Mountains as fall's winding up here. Looking ahead into the weekend, a mostly sunny weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, a high of 69, a low of 41. Sunday, a high of 67 and a low of 40. So temperatures coming down and those lows are getting cold. It means winter's coming. Monday ahead next week, mostly sunny skies on Monday with a high of 67 and mostly sunny skies rolling into next week. So it should be a great weekend to get out and enjoy the mountains. And we are going to take a quick break and come right back with Gabe Linderman.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car. I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
I'm Jason Kennedy, and this is The Wager. Let's go, Wes! We've all heard about this pickleball craze. Celebrities are playing pickleball matches all the time, and they're challenging each other to these ridiculous bets. Now I'm bringing the cameras to their house with new celebrities and a new bet every week.
Hello, rally there.
It's just real, genuine conversation.
I got invited to Usher's birthday party. What am I doing here?
And some pretty crazy antics.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. Joining us now on the couch is Gabe Linderman, one of the 9 GoPro Mountain Games athletes selected to represent the Mountain Games this year. Gabe, how are we?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Ross?
Doing great. So the Mountain Games, one of the biggest, best events we have out here, put on by the nonprofit Vail Valley Foundation, June 6th through the 9th. You are a climber/boulderer.
Indeed.
One of the coolest events out there. They set up the wall right at the base of Gondola 1, one of the best spectating events out there. What was it like last year, your first time attending the GoPro Mountain Games?
You know, the thing that struck me last year was just the community vibe. Like in qualifiers, so you have like amateurs and professionals competing to get into semis and then finals. And what was really cool is I had coworkers there were professional athletes competing. It was just this mix of people from all different athletic backgrounds. That's what I think is really special about that specific event, but the whole GoPro Mountain Games, like as a festival, is like that, which is something I really value.
Yeah, I mean, it's tons of different sports. It's got mountain biking, if you're not familiar, trail running, kayaking, tons of sports, and live music. So much going on around the Mountain Games. And then that climbing wall, like those are the guys that are trying to get in the Olympics. Like, I don't think people realize this is some high level climbing and bouldering, but can you explain exactly like what it is?
Yeah.
In the sports world for people?
Totally. So normally part of the GoPro Mountain Games is part of the National Cup Series for USA Climbing. But yeah, it's kind of on this path to the Olympics. A lot of people aren't trying to get to the Olympics, but there are certainly athletes of that caliber there. And it's cool because I can walk up as a like semi-pro athlete and still compete. And then there are people that are like absolutely crushing me in every boulder, which is it's just fun.
Yeah, it's a blast out there. And then were you able to like rub elbows with some of the other athletes out there? And
yeah, it was really nice because I could walk around and just say hi to people and be like, hi, I saw you in this climbing film a year ago. I think you're awesome. And then I'd see like an athlete that I coach for my job. Like
amazing.
That mix is really special.
Amazing. And then so the VVF just recently announced 9 athletes, which you're on that list. What does that mean? What does that entail? What's the responsibilities of being a GoPro Mountain Games athlete?
Yeah, so being on the team means that we're talking about the games, promoting the games, but we're also helping each other and supporting each other in our own sports. So if you don't know, like all of the athletes have their own niche kind of vibe in their athletic world. Yeah. And it's really cool because we can get together and talk about challenges, we can talk about training stuff, but the reality is we're doing really, really different stuff on a day-to-day basis, but it's cool to have a group that you can go to support each other, support the great games, and just talk about stuff.
Yeah, and then so you mentioned you come from Michigan.
Indeed.
Go Blue. And then you've been in Colorado about 4 years. What's the vibe like out here in that climbing world, you know? Like, what's the scene?
Yeah, it's really, really different. The climbing world in Colorado is sort of freaky. You kind of have to be like an incredible athlete to be talked about. But it's also a really fun environment to live in. So it's being surrounded by people that are a lot better at me than in most sports. And that for me is really motivating. But it's also a challenge. You know, I go back to Michigan and I can climb most of the routes in the gym. I can hang out and like I feel like this cool climber guy, and then I'm out here and I'm like, I'm a very normal person.
It's so true. It humbles you really quickly out here with your peers and stuff. But it's great, and then you get to learn from them and kind of aspire to build up to stuff. So that's awesome. For the Mountain Games coming up June 6th through 9th, what's going on in the next couple months as you gear up for this? Are you training? Are you competing? What's the world
For me,
like?
it's mostly training. And climbing's my main sport, but I'm also running and biking a lot, lifting a little bit. So for me, it's just like trying to get faster and stronger and better. And then probably come around March, I'll focus really strong on climbing so I can, you know, bring my best to the Mountain Games.
Yeah. What does training for a climber look like? Is a lot of like finger work and getting your fingers strong? Or?
You know, honestly, it's just a lot of climbing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I spend most of my time on. I also, like, lift and run and do all these other things, but it's mostly because I think it's fun, not because it's, like, an efficient way to get better at rock climbing.
Yeah, definitely. So outside of climbing and everything else you're doing, do you work? What else do you do?
Yeah, so I work at the Spot Climbing Gyms, which is this local chain of gyms in Front Range, Colorado. My primary responsibility is managing the youth competitive teams, so I spend most of my time like supporting coaches and supporting kids to get stronger in rock climbing, which is the most motivating and inspiring job you can imagine for a rock climber.
Yeah, but then you literally get to see them get to the top of the mountain, which
Yeah.
has got to be rewarding, right?
It's pretty cool. And what's even more rewarding is like, I'll meet a kid, they've been climbing for a year, we welcome them onto a competitive team, and then a year later, they're like sending what I'm working on. Like they're crushing me out there,
Love
which
that.
is just so
Love that.
cool.
How is the scene with the younger, like, we've got to keep passing it on to the next generation? We feel
It's-
comfortable with that right now? Are we
It's pretty
doing
cool.
anything? Yeah.
We're raising like freak athletes at this level. Climbing is going to an incredible place in the next couple of years. It's really inspiring to see.
Yeah, and it is an Olympic sport now, so I mean, it's kind of blowing up a little bit in popularity. And again, at the Mountain Games, it's one of the most popular events to watch. I don't think people really know what's going on anyways, but it's just amazing to see these guys hanging from their fingertips. And you talk about athletes, like there's some of the best athletes out there at the Mountain Games, or in the world really, but just freak athletes, like you said. What got you into the sport? How do you kind of get into this thing?
Yeah, so like we mentioned, I'm from Michigan, so rock climbing's not like an easy thing to just stumble into. But I have this really vivid memory of my mom picking me up from high school when I was like 13 or 14, and somehow the conversation drifted to me being scared of heights and like still being scared of heights as a teenager. And she's a super loving, caring person, but her response was kind of just like, we should go fix that. Like, we should go fix that problem. So after like a week or two of arguing back and forth, my mom dragged me to the climbing gym, and it just kind of became our way of like spending time together. And skip forward well over a decade, and she's in her 60s, like crushing 512 on a rope, and I'm a sponsored athlete working in the industry. It's just like a really cool relationship with my
amazing.
mom.
Is she like stoked on that? What's the next fear she's trying to get you through now?
I don't know. Every time that we bring up like climbing on a rope, which isn't really my jam, she's like, we should go on this trip or do this thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I can rally for that.
Yeah. Well, that's a good clarification with the rope. So bouldering at the GoPro Mountain Games, they're climbing, 10 to 15, 16 feet.
Exactly.
The challenges are set up every day differently, but they're not harnessed into anything. So they're just climbing up this wall, free solo in it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're always falling. You're hitting like, a foot and a half of foam or something. But sport climbing, you're on a rope. You're being caught by a belayer, which super fun, just like still scary for me even in my like 20s.
Do you have like a celebration that you always do at the top? Because there's some of the coolest photos that come out of that event are those guys at the top and gals at the top just so stoked about it and then just falling out.
I agree. I think that stuff is awesome. I never have like a signature thing. Most of the time if I'm crushing it, I'm like hugging the person next to me. I'm a big crier at events. Like I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah. Outside of the climbing at the Mountain Games, were you able to check out any of the other events or what?
Yeah, so I ran a trail race last year, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Like so much fun. This year I think I'm probably going to do a bike race. I'll do a trail run again.
You should do Pepe's Face Off.
I should. Yeah, I should suffer a little bit. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
But I think what's cool about the Mountain Games is you can go and not compete and just wander around, and there's always something awesome happening in front of you, which is really special.
Yeah, Mountain Games, it has all the swag. There's just 100 tents of all the newest gear for you. Tons of events from sunup to sundown, and then there's concerts at night. Were you able to check out any of the live music?
I didn't go to any of the concerts last year.
You'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live music at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. It is a spectacular event, the GoPro Mountain Games. What are you looking forward to most about your second year?
I'm really excited to compete again. Like, that was a special experience last year. I think it will be special this year and for years to come. But honestly, what I'm excited for is watching the slacklining. That's so foreign to me. Like, I can't stand on a slackline. Like, that's not my jam. And I remember last year watching people do flips on it. I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm looking forward to that for a whole 12 months.
Yeah, they are, talk about freak athletes, those slackliners. Same thing. They come from all over the world right here to Vail for the GoPro Mountain Games, and they put on what a show.
It's
right
special.
there in Solaris Plaza. Excuse me. For people that want to get into this sport, how hard is it? What do you recommend? Like, go to a gym, but like if it's a kid or an adult, like people that might want to get into this sport, how do they do it?
So in Colorado, honestly, it's not that difficult. There are obviously like financial barriers, but there are gyms everywhere. Almost every gym has adult programs and youth programs and instructional lessons. You can honestly walk into most gyms and you can just say, hey, I want to learn to rock climb, and someone's going to be helpful and supportive and help you out. It's a relatively friendly community, and I think it's just a really fun sport to get into.
Yeah, and I know here in Eagle County we have the Eagle Climbing Center, and they're taking their portable climbing wall all over the place, and kids are loving that thing.
Yeah.
So, anything else we should have talked about?
I think that's it. I think if you haven't gone to the GoPro Mountain Games, you should. It's a really special place.
Yeah, June 6th through the 9th in Vail. It takes over the whole village. Gabe, stoked to have you on the team. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, we'll tune in. Registration usually starts up. If you do want to compete in the mountain games, you do have to sign up. But spectating is free, like you said. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great event this year. What do you think?
I think so too. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Check Gabe out at the GoPro Mountain Games returning to Vail June 6th through the 9th, and we will be back with the rest of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page. From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
It's October. That means Halloween's right around the corner, and we have a great recipe on some peanut butter cookies to try out this Halloween. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Vail.
You know, it's been a minute since Ross and I have been in the kitchen together.
Yeah.
It has been. So I'd say probably since the beginning of this month. So excited to be back in the kitchen You know, we're on this interesting holiday. It is officially a leap day, which comes around once every 4 years.
Pretty wild.
It is pretty wild. So what do you think about those people that have birthdays
Man.
on leap days? Do you feel sorry for them or excited for them?
That's pretty exciting, you know, the birthdays every year, so now you get to kind of celebrate big time every couple years.
Yeah,
so.
you know, I wonder what they do. I personally don't know anyone, do you?
Nah, maybe. Gotta check Facebook.
Actually, that's true. Gotta
Yeah.
check Facebook. But in honor of those people and in honor of today, we're just gonna make a simple 5-ingredient peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. So who doesn't love a simple cookie to make?
Easy.
You don't have to put a million ingredients into it. And the basis of it is peanut butter.
Love it.
Easy. Eggs, baking soda, chocolate chips, and then brown sugar. So the easiest, you probably have all of these ingredients in your pantry, so it's a really fun one to make.
Love it.
So even you, Ross, you
Let's
like
do
to
it.
cook. You're gonna be so good at
Let's
this.
do it.
I heard you made a birthday cookie the other day.
We did, and we made it in a heart shape for our friend Maddie, so we tried our best to make a heart-shaped cookie.
So next time you can make this one from scratch and show them how to make it. It's pretty easy.
We'll give it a go.
We will give it a go. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a basis of creamy peanut butter is what we want. So you want about 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. And you know, you want to make sure that it's creamy because it's just easier to stir. We have a brand new jar, so this will be, it's always fun to open things freshly on air and see how well we do.
Peanut butter just straight in?
Straight in, just kidding. We need about 1 cup of it. So what you would do is just take your measuring cup and you make sure that you fill it up to the brim with that. We've got all these fun and easy to use cups. So
Excellent. Give me a second here. I'm playing with the cups. So many colors. Okay, is that easier?
It is easier. I'll hold it for you. So this is like one of my favorite ways to measure because everything is all in one spot and you never have to worry about losing them because I know I always do. Yeah. But you can either take it off just like that. There you go. Make it easy for you.
Okay, let's do it.
And then I'm going to hook these back. But all we'll really need is 1 teaspoon, 1 measuring cup of a full cup, and then 1/2 of a cup as well. And so lots of fun.
Peanut butter is a great ingredient to work with.
It's sticky, it's smooth, it's all of the things.
It smells good.
It does smell good. And I love a good peanut butter chocolate chip cookie.
So the question is, how do we go? We go from this jar to this cup. How do we go from this cup to the bowl?
Well, I have got myself a stir spoon.
Okay.
So, or a ladle, whatever it is.
So I don't have to panic right now?
You don't have to panic right now. So as long as you just keep putting that peanut butter into the cup.
It's almost the whole jar.
It is almost the whole jar, surprisingly. You know, but yeah, I love a good peanut butter cookie, especially when it's easy, and this is just a great easy way to whip it up. But you want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So I always make sure that my oven is ready to go before I start cooking, so that way I can just pop it in. I'm not waiting for it to heat up. I know up here in the altitude, it takes a little while longer than normal to heat up.
So that is exactly 1 cup.
Exactly 1 cup.
Or 250 milliliters.
Exactly. So we are going to go ahead. As you can see, it's got the measurements on our cup here, 250 milliliters and 1 cup. So we're going to go ahead and put this all the way in here. And this is probably the messiest part. We're also going to do about 1 large egg.
Okay, I can measure that one out. Got 1 large egg.
And
Check.
then here's the fun part. We also are going to use this cup again, or if you don't want to rinse it out and you don't have time to, we'll just use 1/2 cup because we're going to do 1 full cup of firmly packed brown sugar.
Cool.
And that's the key with brown sugar. It doesn't matter if you use light or brown. It usually, or light or dark, really, because it'll just make it a little bit more golden if you use a darker brown sugar.
Like that.
So we'll do about 1 cup of the brown sugar. And while you get that brown sugar measured out, you can use this.
I'm going in that one.
But it's gonna be messy.
It's okay.
And that's A-okay, we don't mind the mess. You just do the peanut butter, you add the 1 cup of the firmly packed. That's the key. Brown sugar has to be firmly packed in there. And so we'll just throw this spoon in our sink here. And then while Ross is doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and crack my 1 large egg into here. There we go. And then we're gonna do, after that, we have about 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I personally don't care about measuring out my chocolate chips because the more chocolate, the better, in my opinion. What do you think?
The more the merrier.
And these are the milk chocolate baking chips. So you wanna make sure that that is what you're using. It's the milk chocolate baking chips. So we'll go ahead and get this open.
We're gonna pack this down.
I'm gonna actually jump in here and grab
Get
these
in there.
scissors. So you just pack that down. You can use a spoon, you can use your hands. We always make sure that We're good to go there, and I'm gonna cut these open. Boom. While he's packing down that sugar, I'm just pouring in my chocolate chips here. You can do about a half a cup.
A half?
Of chocolate chips.
Oh, okay, okay. It's like we passed that mark on the brown sugar here. I was told 1 cup.
1 cup it is, and I'm just dumping this in here. And the best part about this is you can make about these, you can roll them into like cookie balls, I could say, and it's like about 1 to 1.5 inches. So we're gonna go ahead and get this starting to stir in there. So you're doing a great job, Ross. Really proud of your packing skills. Are on point.
Working on it.
Awesome. And while he's doing that, I'm just going to start stirring up the peanut butter, the egg, the chocolate chip, and then we've got the brown sugar. We're working on that, and then the final ingredient is baking soda. So that's the best part. And then honestly, we start rolling and we're done. It's about to get really messy in here, but I love doing that. And then you can line your baking sheet with, looks good to me. We'll go ahead and dump that in here.
It's a little short of 1 cup.
That's all right.
It's probably like 248 milliliters.
We're short by about 2 milliliters. So we've got baking sheets here. We can line it with parchment paper if we want to, or we can actually, you can just put it straight on. You don't need to grease the pan because of the oil from the peanut butter. This actually will do just fine without having to grease the pan, which is really great. So I'm scooping it out, making sure that I get everything out of this jar. Got a little bit of peanut butter left in the bottom, and a little bit of brown sugar. Boom.
Boom.
That's good. All right. Now we need the baking soda. So you need 1 teaspoon of baking soda to throw in here, and that's going to help just really make the cookies rise and just really bake like a true cookie, since we're not using any flour for this.
That was a teaspoon, right?
1 teaspoon. Yep.
That translates to like TSP, right?
TSP.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I'm telling you, Ross, you're going to be a chef by the time 2024 is over.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
All I'm going to be making is cookies, Kim.
Hey, that's okay. If that's your specialty, I say it's better to be a subject matter expert in one
that.
thing
Yeah.
than not good enough in any.
I like that.
Yeah. So go ahead and dump that in there.
That is exactly 1 teaspoon.
Exactly 1
Precisely.
teaspoon. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this in. Now your dough is going to be a little sticky because of the peanut butter. So be prepared for your hands to get messy. But we're going to roll these into about 1 to 1.5 inch balls. It should yield about 12 cookies if we're doing it right. If we're not, that's okay too. And then, yeah, that's it. We're just going to roll them. You ready to get your hands dirty?
The kid in me is loving this. I think this would be a great activity for the
What
children.
do you think?
Yeah.
A little bit more chocolate chips?
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to go ahead and dump a few more chocolate chips in there. So yeah, if you wanted to be exact, you could do 1/2 a cup, but who needs to be exact on chocolate?
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good there.
Yeah, that's
so we're just going to
looking
continue stirring, and this looks great. And then, if your chocolate chips don't get folded in, you can just work that in with your hands when you're rolling it into a ball. I mean, I think this looks pretty good.
That looks really good.
So you know what you can do? So this is the fun part. If you don't want to get super messy, take a spoon, just roll it just like this.
I thought you were going to eat it.
I mean, you can also do that. It's the basis of what they call a power. There we go. Awesome. Do you want to put the baking sheet over here?
You want to, okay.
Just put it right there.
Perfect.
On top. There we go. You want to get in here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Ross, grab a spoon or use your hands, whatever you want. I'm just going to do that. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and roll these. And then as you roll them, you want to make sure that they're evenly spaced. I usually put them about 1 to 2 inches apart.
That's exactly 2 inches apart.
Right, and then you just kind of keep rolling them. You want to make sure that they are the same size. If they're not, you can just pinch it off, and that's it. So we're going to continue rolling our cookies, and we're going to pop them in the oven, and we'll come back later and see how they turn out.
I like how this is going, Kim.
Yeah, I'm loving the smell of peanut butter in the morning.
Yeah.
So great. But anyways, we will be right back, and our cookies will be rolled, and we'll have so much happening in the second half of this hour on Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the third time I've owned the car.
Sell, regret, sell, regret. To the actual prototype GT40, I got to sit in that car. Oh, I gotta give me one of these, man. We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided that this thing needed to get done then. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way. Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Here in the Vail Valley, we are so lucky to have some great libraries around, including the Vail Public Library. And joining us now on the couch, we have Laureen and Kim from the Vail Public Library. Laureen and Kim, how are we?
Great, how are you?
Wonderful.
And we're talking about a big event. Obviously, you can come to the library, check stuff out, enjoy yourself, relax, but we have a big event coming up on Sunday.
We do.
And what is it?
All right, so, do I
grab it? Yeah.
Okay, so we have Touch a Truck coming up. It's going to be the hot event in town this
Sunday.
week. On Sunday, 10:30 to noon at the Ford Park parking lot. So you can access it from South Frontage Road. We will have trucks of every shape and size, from snowcats to garbage trucks to
helicopter.
We have a helicopter, first time ever.
Touch a truck and a helicopter.
And a helicopter, I know. It was sort of a last minute addition, so it's not on the flyer.
Yeah,
but
amazing. And the reason we get to do this is because of all the great partners like Hats that's flying the helicopter. And who else is kind of contributing to make this happen?
Oh, goodness. We have Vail Resorts, of course, with the Snowcat. We have Schoenfield Construction, bringing some construction vehicles. We have Vail Honey Wagon. We have Old Growth Tree Services, bringing one of their vehicles.
Awesome.
The Eagle County paramedics are coming, and of course Town of Vail police and fire bringing vehicles as well, and we have a food truck.
Amazing. And Kim, who's coming out to this thing? Who are we expecting? Who's invited?
Everybody's invited.
Everybody.
We are welcoming to guests, residents, locals, children, families, everybody come.
Love it.
And take a look, yeah.
And is it free to attend, or how do people kind of come in?
Free and no prior registration required.
Just show up.
Doesn't get any easier than that.
Pretty easy. Where do you recommend people park for this?
Well, we want to utilize all the parking on both the west side and the east side of the main lot. We're obviously these large vehicles are going to be in the middle section and then on either side. Code enforcement will be there helping us out with parking because I understand we.
There's going to be some big vehicles moving around there.
Yes, and we expecting a pretty large crowd. I think we had almost 400 people last year.
Amazing, amazing. And what's it kind of look like? What's the flow? Do the kids hop in the fire truck? Do they just walk by? But what's kind of what can people expect?
All the vehicles have designated spots and will be in place well before 10:30. And then it really is like the name says. Walk around, check out the trucks, climb on them, touch them. We do have a quiet time because it can get quite loud if everybody's honking the horns the whole time. So it's really only the last half hour where the horns can be honked, and the first 45 minutes is
How cool.
quiet.
How
But yeah.
cool. Kim, I understand you come from the East Coast. You're kind of new to the Vail Public Library.
I am.
How beautiful is that located? Right across from the Dobson Ice Arena in
It
the
is
heart of Vail right
fantastic.
there. How's it been going?
It has been wonderful. So I came from Connecticut. I'm from the East Coast for now. I've also lived on the West Coast. So Colorado is the perfect place for me to be. And so when I walked into that library the first time, it just felt so warm and welcoming and wonderful. The floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Gore Creek are fantastic. It is just a lovely spot in town.
Yeah, great spot.
We are so fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, so fortunate. Obviously, the Vail Public Library works very closely with the town, and great big thanks to the town. What else is going on in the library these days? What have you guys been up to?
Oh goodness! Well, we have regular story time with me on Mondays and Wednesdays.
I bet that's great.
It's great. We are going to be the kickoff for the Trick or Trot.
Okay.
On Halloween,
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Is that Halloween Day?
On Halloween Day,
Okay.
Bewitching Story Hour.
Love that.
We'll be making witch's brew, reading stories, and then sending everyone off on the
Awesome.
Trick or Trot. Let's see. I always like to promote our story walk in East Vail.
Okay.
Which is it's a permanent installation.
event. Yeah.
Yes, I was looking for the word installation, and it's 21 panels that go around the pond, and we switch out the story 3 times a year.
Awesome.
And you can again just show up, check it out, self-guided, and just follow the story around the pond.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the greatest things is just how accessible the library is, and most of it's free. How do people, if they need a library card, but you can just walk in there without one, but if they need one, how do they get one?
They can come to the library, bring identification with them. We give library cards to residents and guests, so even if you're in Vail for the week, you can come and get a library card. We are happy to provide services to everyone.
Definitely recommend it, but even if you don't and you're just looking for something to do or somewhere to stop, highly recommend hopping into that Vail
Or
Public
just
Library.
come sit in our vintage Eames chairs. They are fantastic.
Yeah. Definitely,
and
lots
take in
going
the
on.
view.
Any kind of music coming up in there these days? I know there's sometimes
We do have a
some
movie
music.
coming up.
A movie? Okay.
Yeah, so we are partnering with the Town of Vail Economic Development Department and doing an outdoor movie on Sunday, October 20th. Refresh my memory, what's the movie?
Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
2 o'clock.
Where's it going to be?
It's
Is
going to be in
outside?
our outside
Okay.
in the library backyard.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
We
free of
have-
charge.
Yeah, we
Popcorn.
have a large screen that is so powerful you can see it during the day.
I was going to ask.
Yes,
Yeah, awesome.
it's pretty high tech.
Awesome. I assume there's popcorn or some
Popcorn.
snacks
Yeah,
out there for that.
popcorn.
Bring blankets.
You guys are always doing so much fun stuff.
Yeah.
We are. we
Always-
think so.
And then with
We do
Halloween,
think so.
obviously, all this other stuff, and then the trick or trot. But looking ahead to winter, it's coming.
It's
Any
coming.
big plans at the library this winter?
We always have Babies with Santa, and I believe it. Oh, don't quote me on this.
It's in December. It's in December.
It'll be on our website, but it's I believe that the third Monday in.
We'll double check.
We'll double check. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll check with
Come back
Santa.
and talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
write a letter to
And then
Santa
we
and see
have
when.
also a family fireside Santa event the next day on Tuesday. So we separate out the babies because it can be overwhelming for them with the larger crowd. So
Awesome. Kim, one more time. I know you're kind of new to town. Yeah. What's been the best part for you out here? I know you said you came from the East Coast, a little bit of West Coast, but what's been your favorite part about being out here?
The people.
The people.
The people, yeah. They've been so warm and welcoming and kind, and it's been wonderful. Also, the scenery.
Yeah.
I love natural beauty, and there's so much to be seen here.
It is everywhere. And especially right outside your door at the library.
Yes,
Like that is just a prime location when you're walking from Lions Head over to Vail. Just hop on in. What else should people know about Touch a Truck?
We're giving away churros to the first 400 attendees.
Love
Free
that.
churros. So we'll have El Bahan churro truck will be there, and you can also purchase warm beverages because I think it might be a little chilly, so people should dress warm.
It's getting to that time of year where you kind of need all the layers at all points in the day. So yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, so they're thrilled to partner with us. They're big supporters of libraries, so you have to have a food truck.
Definitely.
Touch a truck.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
And when they're giving out churros.
Too good. So Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to noon, Ford Park in Vail, Touch a Truck with the Vail Public Library and all of the awesome partners. What else should I ask you? What else should people know about Touch a Truck or the library in general? Or
I think what a lot of people don't realize is we're open till 8 p.m. Most weekend nights. So if you're just looking for a quiet place to work, to read, to veg out and look out the window, we're open till 8. And then Friday through Sunday, we're open until 6. So we are open 7 days a week. And you can come anytime and just pop in.
Yeah. I always like to ask, too, because I know some of the other libraries locally, they rent out so much more than just books. What is available at the Vail Public Library for people if they want?
Sure. So, of course, we do offer books. Excuse me. We have ebooks, e-audiobooks. We have a library of board games. We are working on having a library of things for people to check out items that maybe they want to just try and they don't want to buy. And we also have magazines. We have databases online, so you can access the library with your library card. Outside the library, you can access it from home. We have access to the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, so you can access those newspapers from your living room.
Do we still use the Dewey Decimal System?
We do.
We do.
We do.
Amazing.
Yes.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's
right?
right.
Yep.
That's right.
What is the Dewey Decimal System?
It's a system for organizing the nonfiction materials.
Right.
It's in categories, and so you know, the book about taking care of your lab is, you know, your black lab is going to be the same number on the spine in any library across.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know that because I volunteer. My beautiful mother had me volunteer at a library growing up, and I just remember stocking some of those shelves. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Anything else we should add about Touch a Truck? Just come on out.
Just
Sunday.
come on out.
Sunday morning.
Yes.
First 400 get churros.
Yep.
Next 400 might have to buy them from the
They might have to
churro
buy
truck.
them for like $1.
For like $1. What's the website, or if people want more information about everything that you guys are doing, where can people go or follow along?
VailLibrary.com.
VailLibrary.com.
Yep.
Pretty easy.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us, Laureen and Kim. Touch a Truck, Vail Public Library.
Thank
so
you.
much going on over there.
Yeah.
Hope to see you guys soon. Check it out this Sunday, and we will be back with more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point of this competition.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. We have so many great libraries here in the Vail Valley, and joining us next we have Tegan with the Eagle County Library District. Tegan, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. We have some more props. Every time you're on, we have some kind of props, but what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about manga today.
Okay, manga.
Manga, yes. So manga is a Japanese style, it's a Japanese style graphic novel. And so the difference between manga is that you read it left to right instead of right to left. So typically we would open a book and we would go la la la, and they tell you that, hey, you're reading the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so you actually read it, when we get to panel, this way.
Wow.
And then you go up and down that way.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. So again, some people are a little nervous about graphic novels because they're like, oh, it's like cheating. But your brain is doing a lot of work to not only decode the words, but to decode the pictures. So you're learning visual literacy as long as literacy. And then you get an appreciation for art as well, because every manga is different.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of genres. So we got Sailor Moon, we've got horror, we've got some shonen, we've got romance. There's all sorts of manga genres.
Love that.
And the library has them, and so you can come in and check them out. You know, we got ones on cats.
Who are these popular with, or who's
teens and I would say adults. And so how usually a manga starts off with is there's a few magazines. How it got like integrated into America was there's magazines called like Show and Jump, and my library happened to have Show and Jump.
Okay.
And so in those magazines you get a chapter of different mangas, or different stories. And then this was my first. So this is Ichigo.
Okay.
And so this is actually Bleach, and the main character is Ichigo. So this is my first. And so when I would hop in Show and Jump, I would get to read a chapter, and then I got addicted. And so whenever I went by a bookstore or a library, I would jump in and see if they had Show and Jump, and I'd be like, hang on, I gotta catch up, friends.
Yeah.
And so then they put them into these books. They're called tycoons. And then you can read like multiple chapters at once, and so you get the stories, and then they just keep going and going. Not all manga is manga, not all manga is anime, and not anime follows anime based on manga does not always follow the source material.
Okay.
So it's different art forms, and then some of these, which I didn't bring, I forgot one.
That's okay.
Sometimes they get, so Bleach, Netflix decided to do a live action, which is decent. One Piece, of course. One Piece, Netflix did a live action of, and so One Piece has a manga, then it has an anime, and then it has a live action. There's ones that get turned into a film. So Edge of Tomorrow is based up on a manga.
Okay.
And that stars Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise, great movie.
Yeah.
And then this is Demon Slayer, and at the moment it is also a manga and an anime. So if you read the manga, you're kind of ahead of the anime. So there's, with Demon Slayer, they just dropped an episode, and they did some color coding, and everyone in the manga is like, oh, we know. Everyone in the anime is like, what? So it's always good to read the source material, and sometimes it's different. So it's always just...
But it's like everything. The book is just always better. It's just always better, right? There's no way around it.
Yes, and then sometimes, the anime or the live action is going to do things a little bit differently because, you can do different things with drawing than you can with real people.
For sure.
And so there might be some differences in storytelling and style, but that's where you can have those discussions and those debates.
Definitely.
I enjoy manga because it's a quick read, so I get a story in an hour. So I get to dip into a world for an hour and then pop out, and it's quick and easy.
Do you ever find yourself reading it the wrong way and going back
I've
and
definitely,
get a little
which is why I
confused?
totally appreciate when they're like, hey, wrong
Yeah,
way.
yeah, I love that.
Wrong way. And they show you, like, this is the way you should be reading it.
That's amazing.
Yes. So manga, there's all sorts of genres. So you don't have to do the shonen, which is more the fighting manga. There's romance, like we have this cat one. There's just cute manga.
Yeah.
So it's just a really fun genre. It's popping off with all the kids. And teens, but adults like these as well.
Yeah, and the Scott Pilgrim, that's a popular one,
so
right?
This one got, this is actually Canadian.
Okay.
And so this one you do read the right way, but I brought it to show the influence of this style in publishing, because then this is a graphic novel, and it is actually by an artist in Canada.
Awesome.
But it was influenced very much by this cultural phenomenon in Japan.
Yeah, so what does that word mean? Or like, where did that word
that's a great
manga
question.
come
I
from?
have no idea. I don't know the kanji.
Yeah.
So I will... Sailor Moon was great. She's taking them all out.
They're a lot.
I will look that up for you.
Yeah, just curious. Big words guy. I like to know where they come from.
So it's and that's what's fun about. Of course, this is English, but then if you really get into it, you can start learning Japanese and kanji, because there's all sorts of symbolism within kanji, and so you get, if you really want to nerd out, you'll get more meaning out of some of the names. So Ichigo means strawberry, like indicated of his hair, but there's way more meaning behind this as well. So you can just keep going down the rabbit hole.
Amazing. Which one do you recommend for people to find what genre they kind of want?
Exactly.
Right? How do you recommend getting into this?
You want to pick a genre. And again, you just flip through, just like any book. I always recommend just reading a few, reading the first paragraph, chapter. And again, if you don't like it, we have so many.
Yeah.
And I blow kids away, because I'm like, you don't have to finish the book. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
No, we have so many. So if you don't like it, there's obviously more that we can delve into. So that would be my first question is what are you interested in? Or what was the last good book that you read that you're interested in? And then we kind of dovetail into there. And I will probably give you 5 to try out.
Love that.
And then hopefully one is your jam and you come back for the whole series. So I think there's 76, 78.
76, you said?
Mm-hmm. And this happens to be this is One Piece, but this is Ace's story. So this is a side character, and everyone likes the character, so he wrote more about him.
Awesome.
And so One Piece is 1,129 chapters. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, so if you really like that one, you can spend some time in there.
Going, and it's going to wrap up, and he's been writing that story for about 25 years, and it's going to end either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So a lot of fun.
Good time to get into it then, right?
It. And again, One Piece has the manga, then it has the anime, and then the live action.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, so, and then there's all sorts of ways you can nerd out with this.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. What else is going on at the libraries these days? Rolling into Halloween, but what's going on?
Halloween, so we got our spooky program going on. So we have started our silent reading clubs. So if you're just looking for an opportunity to hang out at the library with other people, so it's a book club, but you don't have to discuss the books you're reading. You're just all hanging out in a beautiful area and reading. So if you just want company, but
not company.
But maybe, but maybe you just don't really want to discuss, that's absolutely okay. Because sometimes book clubs can be intimidating for that discussion piece. So we're offering silent book clubs at all 3 libraries. And then, of course, we got our after-school programs. They're really kicking off. So, again, we've got programs for teens, elementary school, and our story times.
Awesome.
And we had some really cute toddlers the other day, all princessy, dressed up, showcasing their Halloween costumes.
Oh, so
it's
great.
always fun at the library.
So many great clubs. Not the Finer Things Club, but some great clubs there at the libraries here. What else should I ask you about this genre or?
Well, you
what
need
else should
a
people
library
know?
card.
You do, right?
You do, in order to take this home. However, when you're in the library, you can come and chat me up and I'll get you something to peruse when you're there. But if you want to take it home, you're going to need a library
Is this
card.
because I told you I don't have a library card
Yes.
last week? Okay, all right.
You're in the library, but you don't have a card.
Yeah, so if you want to take them home, just sign up for a card.
If you want to take it home, sign up for a card. And then some of these series, like Naruto, I put it over there. They go on for forever, so we don't have the shelf space, obviously, to hold all those. So we can get them from other libraries. So just because at the library you don't find, and it doesn't have to be manga, if you don't find what you're looking for, ask us. We ask other libraries, so we're part of the consortium. Colorado shares. And then if we can't get it in Colorado, we start asking out to different states. We've gotten library items from the Library of Congress. So we will do our best to get to yes.
Love that. Love that. Tegan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This is so fascinating here. So we will be checking these out at our libraries and
Clearly I enjoy these, so.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, that's the point of books, is to kind of get into them. So
nerd out with me.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back. To the weather here. Looking ahead to the weekend, mostly sunny skies on Saturday, high of 69 and a low of 41. Sunday, high of 67, a low of 40. So it should be a great weekend out there. And rolling into next week, temperatures still in those high 60s on Monday and Tuesday and hovering around the 40-degree mark for lows. So should be a good weekend out there. And the sun is shining. We have been doing some Aurora Borealis watching recently. Did you catch any of that last night, Tegan?
I did not.
Oh, you did not.
It.
That's okay. I went out and I looked. I know there's tons of photos and videos, so just keep your eyes peeled for when that's going to happen again. It's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to check these out. So do those. There's still some fall foliage out there to check out. It's kind of fallen off, but no rain has been making it stick around. So it's going to be a great weekend here. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Ross Leonhardt. Thanks to Nick in the back and Terry. We'll see you next week.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire